Interactive cards are so fun to make and send to kids of all ages, and my new favorite die to make them with is Karen Burniston's Surprise Ball Pop-Up Die Set. Hello, and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik, and I've been inspired by Karen and her design team to try some double ball surprise critters, and I had so much fun I made 5 different versions. This is the first one I made. And just watch what happens when you pull on the tab and a lizard pops out. He spins around and around and he is super cute. I admit I totally cased this card from Karen Burniston, and there is a link in the description box to exactly how she made this one. I'm no good at creating my own animals with punch art, so I looked around my craft room and I came up with an older die set from Tonic Studios to make this pop-up card for my grandson for Easter. Obviously his name is Evan, and when he will open it, an Easter bunny pops up. And you can see the features on here were all created with that Tonic die. And this one again spins around, and it's a double pop-up bunny. Very cute. Some bunny loves you, Grandma and Grandpa do. I wanted to make one for my older grandson too, and he loves Dungeons and Dragons. So I did a search and I found some free D&D art online and created this red dragon pop-up for him. So that's something I printed off the internet. Have a diverse and dynamic day, have a D&D day, and when you open it up, a red dragon pops up. It is a double ball again, and this is the red dragon, and I simply printed it off and cut it into pieces and put it on the double ball so that it will stand up when it is opened. All the rest of these sides were created with a embossing technique that I'm going to show in a video coming up soon with bisters and cracked embossing on there, and I just thought that looked kind of cool on that dragon card. I just watched Frozen 2, and I wanted to make an Olaf card for a young lady who loves him, and I found these images online that I was able to cut out and put on this card. Do you want to build a snowman? There's the cute Olaf, and then when you open this one, it pops up. And again, I just printed off the images of Olaf and cut it and put it on a double ball. So this goes around in a circle, and he is adorable on there and easy to print. Some people are worth melting for, Olaf loves to say. And I thought that was very cute too. But I really wanted to make a cute animal that was not totally printed off or cased, and so I did a search and I came up with Lynn Pratt's website. She sells directions for many punch art items, and I found a PDF file that had instructions to make 4 different animals, including this one. This adorable puppy. So again, it's a double ball, and it spins around, and there is a very cute puppy face on there, and it lays flat to mail, and then magnets hold this shut, and I'm going to show you how I made that. There were 4 animals in this PDF, and it's called Barn Animals Edition, and there's a link to it in my description. And she does charge $4.99 for her for this template in particular, and she has other templates, but it was well worth it to me not to have to struggle to figure out how to make a dog look so cute. There's a cat and a dog, a chicken and a sheep, and I just printed the dog instructions off and found it real easy to follow along and make my own pop-up dog. So here is how I made it. This is the surprise ball pop-up die, and I cut out 4 of the main pieces for the dog, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. This is a ball that's partially put together. Now there are many videos available. Of course the best videos are Karen Burniston's, and I have a couple out there as well, exactly how to put one ball together, so I'm not going to do that step by step, but I will show you briefly. For each ball you cut out 2 of these main pieces, and you put a brad into one of them if you want it to be able to spin around. You glue these pieces down on both cards, both sides, and then you slide a rubber band into the tab part. There's 2 of them that have like a opening there, and then the rest have these small tabs, and you slide a rubber band in here, and then you're going to attach these pieces as well, and then when you get around to here you're going to glue these together, and then once that's set up, the rubber band will go from one side to the other side, and that's what makes it pop up and down. So a brilliant design, very easy to put together, and many videos are out there exactly on how to do that. I've cut many of the pieces in advance so that this doesn't take too long. The main piece on the one that I made is a large square card base made with heavy cardstock, because these you do want extra heavy cardstock, and I even put an extra piece on the back to try to get them to lay as flat as possible once you put your pop-up in there. I cut a flap with a large Spellbinders die. I scored it and attached it to the back of the card, and ended up covering that up with this other thick piece of cardstock. And then this is going to be the flap that's going to hold the card together. I've also cut a circle that where the dog is going to go on to, and then this flap is going to be here to cover up magnets in a minute, and then this is going to be the front of the card, and again that will be covering up the magnets that we're going to use to hold this closed. Now I have some larger magnets. I don't remember where I got them, but I can see if I can find a link for you. And it has a stickiness, and then there's a positive and a negative. And so and these things here are self-sticking, which is really nice. So I'm going to put one of the magnets here, and then I'm going to take off the part there, and then close this shut, and then that magnet will stick together. This heart was created with a cat scrappiness scribbly heart and some adorable little heart prints from Crafter's Companion, and I attached that already. This piece here was cut with an oval die, just slightly smaller than the large die that I used, and those are both Spellbinders oval dies that I've had for years. And I'm simply going to put this on here, and that will cover up that magnet. And then I'm also going to attach this piece here. And our card base is ready to go. This howdy is from Karen Burniston, and we're ready with that part. Now I've cut out 4 main surprise ball pieces and I put them together. And this one, I'm gonna make sure I do this right, this one has the brad. So this is going to be the bottom part and this is going to be the head. And when you do it with a body like this, you just glue them very securely together with the head coming up from one of the side pieces. I've also cut 3 extra hexagons from the Karen Burniston set, and one went on the top here, and one went here, and one will go here, covering up that hole once we put the tail there. Now, I have punched and die cut all the pieces according to Lynn's instructions, and the eyes, I had to use 2 smaller dies because I didn't have the punches the correct size, but she instructs you to cut the one side off and then they fit together, and then you also can use a white gel pen to add a little bit of highlights. The cheeks are gonna, again, according to her instructions, go together, and there is a nose that goes on top, and we have a tongue, and then she tells us specifically how to cut the tail, and then we have some ears and some feet. So each step is very well described how to do it, and I was able to follow it. So I am going to show you how to put this together. I think I'll start with the tail and get that attached. Just using a glue dot here. And it's going to come out of here. And then we're going to attach this with some, I think I'll use a little thicker ScorTape. I use ScorTape in all different sizes, and I have a link in my description box where you can get it in all different sizes. I don't know how we ever lived without this. I like to use a little bit stronger, oops, I was supposed to pull this part off first. I can still do it. Tape for these kinds of things that are going to pop up and down and be, you know, maneuvered quite a few times, as opposed to just regular tape rollers or something. So there is our tail. Now we're going to be working with the front of the card, so that tail comes off there, and our eyes and our cheeks and everything are going to go in here. So I have the eyes prepared according to Lynn's instructions. Put some glue dots on those. That's not very straight. Can we get it off? And because once the sides are cut, they match up perfectly there. The cheeks were punched out with a 1-inch punch, and then again we cut these sides, and then I sponged them with some ink, and we're going to pop those up. With some mounting tape. And then we need the nose, which she described cutting it out with a 1/2-inch punch and then forming like a small kind of like rounded triangle, and then once again adding some highlights. You can see our faces coming together. And then I have a tongue that was a small oval punch and cut in half. And we're going to slide this under there. And our cute face is pretty much done. Our ears were punched out with a larger oval punch, and I sponged all around the edges, and we're going to use some more glue dots to attach those. Yeah, I'll get a fresh one. Sometimes it's just easier to cut those. So the ears are going on an angle on these here. And then Lynn describes punching out 4 1-inch punches, and then cutting the bottom in a somewhat straight line, and then sponging it, and then drawing in some toes. And I'm going to put that under the body there with some more glue dots. So then we need another foot here, and another foot here. And our cute puppy is pretty well complete. We're going to attach him to the circle for the inside of the card. I measured where the center is and punched a hole there, and then if you collapse this part and open up that brad and then slide the brad through the hole and collapse the whole thing, and then this is going to be on the inside of the card and taped down, of course. And that's that step. Now I have gotten this card ready to go, and we want this to collapse down and be where the puppy does not come out of any of the sides. And I put some good strong tape here. And we're going to center it here. Press that down. He pops up. He lays flat, more or less flat, for mailing. The magnet holds the card shut, and then when the person receives it, it says howdy, and they open it up and the puppy pops up for them to see. I just think those are just adorable, and I just had so much fun making all of these, but especially the one that I was able to create using help from Karen Burniston's design teams, her videos, and Lynn Pratt's PDF file. Aren't all these pop-up surprise critters fun? I know whomever I send them to are going to love them. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.